Bonjour, mes amis. Welcome back to the countdown of the top 10 places to retire abroad in 2025. So we've already covered Panama, Portugal, Mexico, and Costa Rica. And today we're headed to one of the most romantic, beautiful, and culturally rich, I cannot say that, culturally rich places on earth, France. And this one's personal for me. My sister actually lived in Paris back in the late 90s, and my niece Chantal was actually born there. So France definitely holds a special place in my heart. Oh, and I'm a sucker for those amazing croissants with chocolate inside. You know the ones? Pain au chocolat. Makes me hungry just thinking about it. Those things are amazing. So let's dive into what makes France such an appealing place to retire in 2025. And stick around because I'll also be sharing with you some of the downsides that you need to know before making the move. France is famous for its food, wine, art, and timeless beauty, but there's so much more to love if you're thinking about retiring here. This is a country where people truly savor life, whether it's mornings spent at the local market, afternoons sipping wine on a sun-drenched terrace, or weekend trips to medieval villages and scenic coastlines. The French lifestyle prioritizes quality over quantity. And for retirees, that slower pace, strong social services, and deep-rooted culture can feel like a dream come true. So let's talk about money. Is France cheap? Well, not exactly, but it can be affordable, especially if you go outside of the big cities. In smaller towns, think Dordogne, Occitanie, or Bretagne. Hope I didn't butcher those too bad. But in those three cities, especially, a couple can live comfortably on around $2,500 to $3,000 a month. That includes your rent, groceries, public health care, and yes, a steady supply of fresh baguettes and local wine daily. Housing costs are especially reasonable in rural areas, and fresh, locally sourced food is not only delicious, it's surprisingly budget-friendly. Now let's talk about one of the best parts of France, the food. Eating well in France does not have to be expensive, especially if you shop like a local and take advantage of those famous open-air markets. A fresh, crusty baguette is about €1. A generous wedge of local cheese, about 2 to 3 euros. And a bottle of surprisingly good wine from a local vineyard, maybe 5 or 6 euros. For a retired couple, a monthly grocery budget can range from 300 to 500 euros, which I believe is around $350 to $500, somewhere in that range, US dollars, depending on how much you cook at home. And believe me, you'll want to cook at home. The produce is fresh, seasonal, and full of flavor. Eating out is also very doable. A coffee at a local cafe costs around 2 euros, and you can grab an amazing pastry, like the one I like, the pain au chocolat, for about 1 or 2 euros. Many restaurants offer a plat du jour, dish of the day. That's a fixed price lunch with 2 or 3 courses for as little as 13 to 18 euros, and that often includes a glass of wine. And if you're in the mood to get dressed up and have a nice dinner out, you can enjoy a full meal at a mid-range restaurant for about 20 to 30 euros per person. Splurge nights can go higher, but they are definitely worth it. The truth is, food in France is about quality, not quantity. It's one of the reasons retirees love living here. You can enjoy life's simple pleasures every day here without spending a fortune. Here are a couple lists I put together of common groceries that you might buy. I did it in US dollars for reference sake. So there's one on groceries, and I also did one on eating out to give you an idea of what that would cost, especially if you work in the mindset like I do from US dollars. And here's a pro tip. Go local. Open air markets and daily lunch menus are where you'll find the best value and the best flavor. France is home to one of the best healthcare systems in the world. Once you become a legal resident, you can apply for public health coverage under l'assurance maladie. Most expats also choose to get a mutuelle, that's a top-up private health insurance policy, to cover the remaining costs. But even with private insurance, healthcare is incredibly affordable compared to the US. We're talking modern facilities, excellent specialists, and minimal out-of-pocket expenses. That peace of mind is a huge perk for retirees. To retire in France as a non-EU citizen, you'll need to apply for a long stay visa called a visa de long séjour. You'll need to show proof of sufficient income, valid health insurance, and a place to stay, like a rental contract for 12 months, or if you've purchased a property, you can use that as well. The process includes an in-person appointment at a French consulate and, yes, some paperwork, as you can guess. Once you arrive, you'll register with immigration and apply for a residency permit, which can be renewed and potentially lead to permanent residency after 5 years. It's France, so expect some red tape, but it's totally manageable if you plan ahead and just plan to be patient. Now, I have to tell you, while I haven't made it to France yet, it has been on my bucket list for years. I've spent some time in French-speaking places like Montreal, Canada, and even traveled through Côte d'Ivoire in West Africa in my 20s. I absolutely love the language, the people, and the vibe in both of those places. So I feel like I've had a little taste of France. One of these days, I'm going to be filming a video from a French cafe, sipping espresso and taking in the view. You can mark my words on that. Okay, so where should you consider living? France definitely has something for everyone. It just depends on your taste and your budget. There's Dordogne. This is Expat Central, especially for Brits and Americans. You'll find stone cottages, scenic countryside, weekly markets, and a welcoming vibe. Next up, we have Provence. Sun-drenched villages, lavender fields, and rosé wine. It's a bit pricier, but absolutely stunning if you want that storybook feel. Annecy. If you love lakes and mountains, Annecy has it all. Crystal clear water, alpine views, and a charming old town. Then there's Bretagne, a cooler coastal region with dramatic cliffs, fishing villages, and Celtic roots. It's less touristy and a bit off the radar. I also read that they're known for their cuisine and in particular the crepes, or the crepes as we say in English. And then of course there's Paris, Paris, and the surrounding suburbs. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but the city offers culture, walkability, and top-tier amenities. The Île-de-France suburbs offers more affordable housing with easy train access to the city. You can expect to spend $3,500 to $4,500 a month to live comfortably in or near Paris. All right, now let's take a look at the pros and the cons. First, the cons. Bureaucracy. Paperwork is real here. Patience and persistence go a long way. Then there's the language barrier. In smaller towns, not everyone speaks English, but locals appreciate the effort when you try your French-speaking skills. Learning French can also enrich your experience, so that's really, really important, as I always say too, about whatever country I'm talking about. It is so, so important when you move to another country to learn their language. Just like here in America, for example, we would expect when people move to this country to learn English to be able to communicate effectively. It's exactly the same when you go to another country where English is not the language. It's so important to learn the language of the country that you are moving to. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. Taxes. France taxes worldwide income, so it's essential to consult a tax advisor before making the move. And there's the cost of living, of course. Paris and the Riviera in particular can be pricey, but many rural areas offer excellent value, as we have already talked about. Now, what about the pros? We've got world-class healthcare, excellent public transportation, diverse landscapes from beaches to mountains, deep history and culture, a slower pace of life, and joie de vivre that's hard to match. So what do you think? Could France be your next chapter? Whether it's the food, the art, the countryside, or just that dreamy French lifestyle, there is a lot to love here. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next country in our countdown. If you want more travel inspiration, you can take a look at my last video on Mexico. Until next time, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao!